So thank you very much. My name is Don Hollander from APTLD. So just to give you some idea about what APTLD is, we're effectively a trade association for ccTLD operators in the Asia Pacific region. So I just want to, because this has nothing to do with what everybody else has been talking about for the past 2 days. So a little bit different. So we focus at the top of the browser bar where you type in, actually nobody types in www anymore, but where you would have typed in www.whatever, dot, and then the last couple of characters. So that's what APTLD's members focus on. So they run the internet, the domain names, at the country code in the Asia Pacific region. And for Asia Pacific extends from the eastern shores of the Mediterranean through the Middle East, through South Asia, through Southeast and East Asia, into the Pacific, all the way over to American Samoa. So we have a very big geographic region. We also have a very culturally diverse region. So you name a religion, it's in our community. You name a culture, most cultures are in the community, and languages. So we have most of the languages of the world represented in our region. Perhaps not Greek, but just about everybody else is there. And we have a big cultural diversity, big language diversity. So in the beginning of the web, probably before some of you were born, there were the top level domains. There were the 3 characters. They were very easy. And then there were 2 characters. So developers, software developers, were able to validate top-level domains easy, no problem. It had to be 2 or 3 characters. Anything other than that was a mistake, and so they issued an error. People corrected. And then things changed. And in the past couple of years, they are changing ever again. And so this is the issue that the universal acceptance raises. So now we have not only top-level domains that are longer than 3 characters, but we have them that are in non-Latin scripts, non-ASCII characters. And that's the issue that I'm going to talk about. So that was the long part of the presentation. The rest is easy. So universal acceptance covers these areas. So there's browsers, and that's where I think this community, I was hoping, would be able to help. Search engines, email, e-commerce, social media, applications in general, and mobile devices. So the concern that we have with browsers particularly is that when you type in a non-ASCII URL, you don't always get to where you're expecting to go, or when it's displayed in the browsers, you're not always seeing what you're expecting to see, or when a search engine indexes a website, it's not always indexing what you're expecting to see. And you've got these other utilities that are around the browser space, the antivirus, the anti-spam, the anti-keep me safe from bad guys, who are seeing these top-level domains, and they're saying, oh, hold on, no, I'm sure that's not kosher. And so that is a challenge for our community. And if you think about who's not on the web, so we know there's about 3 billion people who are on the web, 2 to 3 billion people on the web, depends on who you ask. There's another 3 billion or so who aren't. And many of them are in the Asia Pacific region, and many of them wouldn't know an A from a B from a C because they just don't, the Latin script isn't there. So that becomes the challenge. Email is also another big challenge because you can have an address that ends with a .hongni or a .hong Kong or .taiwan or .saudi or .omani, whatever, and it may not actually get to where you want it to go. And if it does get there, Lord knows what it's going to look like. So there's issues there as well. E-commerce sites, social media sites, These are all areas that are challenged by these new top-level domains. So I'm assuming people have heard of Facebook. My children say it's all the rage. So to register for Facebook, you put in your email address. But if your email address does not end with an ASCII character set, you're stuffed. The same with eBay, the same with any number of other solutions. And I would ask that the one thing that you do when you get home, and you look at the systems that you have, your own systems, that allow people to register their email address to subscribe to a service or whatever, see if it will accept a non-ASCII ccTLD. And if it can, that's marvelous. Please send me a note and say, yes, we have a winner here. But if it doesn't, can you talk to whoever does the development and ask them if they could please help facilitate that? So defining success for IDN TLDs for us is that the address will display correctly, that the addresses will index correctly, that addresses are accepted and stored and retrieved correctly, and that they reach where they're supposed to be. So we have very, very small requests, just that the things work the way that they should now that we're being more inclusive of a broader community of the world. So these are just issues, again, with browsers, emails. There are standards, there are RFCs for email, and they work. They're just not deployed. So this is a challenge for the community. There are some compliant small email microsystems, but if the email tries to go out from there and it goes somewhere else, you're stuffed. So applications, just general. Mobile devices is an area that I thought this would be very easy. These are all new technologies, new operating systems, new applications, and no. They are probably the furthest behind of any of the generalized solution. I would have thought it would be easy because the keyboards are dynamic and they'll display correctly, but no, the iOS, the operating systems, iOS or Android, they're just not there yet. But coming soon in a store near you, I'm sure. So the opportunities, in terms of the commercial issues, you asked yesterday about the commercial opportunities. This is the next 3 billion. This is the fortune at the bottom of the pyramid. And besides the commercial issues, you have the cultural imperative and the opportunity to avoid the cultural imperialism that we see with the Latin character set. So that's me. Hopefully I didn't take too much time, and that's just a representation of how big our region is. Thank you very much.